as somebody who has an uncomfortable amount of Mark Andrews across my 17 fantasy leagues.
Yeah, you weren't happy last night.
As somebody whose best bet yesterday was Mark Andrews anytime touchdown and Mark Andrews over on the receptions, I think, and the receiving yards. I think I went.
You almost got there.
I was going to say, came close to scoring.
I felt really good about the bet given how I thought Lamar would have a big game, which he did. I thought that Andrews would be a big part of it. Cincinnati has really struggled against tight ends throughout this entire season. And yeah, I was feeling really good after the second. He's got, it was 4.5 receptions. He's got 2 on the first drive. This is cruising. He's halfway to his receiving. He's almost halfway to his receiving prop as well. And then of course that tackle, and he's out for the year. And so yes, lost some money, lost my best bet yesterday. And of course, all my fantasy teams are now in a hole. This is awful. My stupid selfish needs aside, I feel terrible. We love Mark Andrews here. He's a friend of the show. He's been on this podcast before. He drinks free today, by the way, at the happy hour. We hope for a speedy recovery for Mr. Andrews, for the Mandrews. But this is tough, guys, for this Ravens offense.
I was a little surprised John Harbaugh just immediately ruled him out for the season with a high ankle sprain.
Let's listen in on it. Yeah, let's listen in on Harbaugh after the game, speaking about the Andrews injury and the significance of it going forward.
It looks like a season-ending injury, so our prayers will be with Mark. Nobody cares more about the team and being there for the guys than Mark Andrews, so this is going to be hard for him, but we're going to be there for him all the way. Form of a high ankle, but more than just a sprain, so I don't know any more details than that. Well, yeah, it was definitely a hip drop tackle, to your point, and it is being discussed. It's a tough tackle. It was even necessary in that situation. The other one on the sideline, there's always plays that you send in to the league to have them look at and interpret for you.
As we're going to see the tackle here, I mean, the problem here is, guys, football is played at such a high speed, and I get it. They don't want this tackle in the game anymore, the hip drop tackle here from Logan Wilson. Yep. The problem is when you talk to other defenders, and I know some of his own teammates today, Mark Andrews' teammates, said it's hard in those situations to avoid it at times.
Right. Because a guy like Mark Andrews is so powerful, so strong, he's just sort of dragging you along with him.
Yeah. He's
that didn't
bigger
look like
than
a dirty
Logan Wilson.
play to me.
I don't think so either. I don't think that, obviously there's not intention. It's just the speed of the game, the intensity of the game, and if you start penalizing things like that, you're going to have the outcomes of game change, significantly changed in ways that are just football plays. It stinks. The play stinks, but it's a football play.
It is a football play, and it's terrible. Weird that John Harbaugh threw Lamar Jackson under the bus there in that post-game press. He just says no one cares more about the team than Mark Andrews. Yeah. Apparently Lamar is
Roquan
super.
Smith.
Yeah, yes. Apparently they're all super selfish because literally there's no one that cares more about the team than Mark Andrews. Jokes aside, this sucks. It is weird, right? A high ankle sprain. I mean, we're in week 11. A high ankle sprain is usually a 4 to 6 week injury. Right? I mean, so
maybe he's torn something, a ligament there. It's just done.
I agree, Jay. I think there's some ligament-related issue here. If it's what he said, season-ending.
Yes.
That to me is we're not seeing Mark Andrews till next summer.
Yeah. I mean, listen, this is one of the reasons why I specifically don't have any ligaments. Can't tear what you don't have. No. I have people are like, "Where's your
hamstring?" Like
Gumby. It's nothing but gravy inside of me.
Yeah, you're like my 1-year-old daughter.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just kind of you fall over. It's you can't break those bones.
Exactly.
Yet. Yeah.
Well, yeah, everyone laughs at my dad bod, but you know what my dad bod does? It doesn't tear ligaments.
Right.
Exactly.
No breaks. No, you're never on the IR.
You ever
limited sometimes.
Right. You ever try to break Jello? You can't break Jello. That's what happens.
You cannot break Jello.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So that's what I'm dealing with here, all over here.
We'll ask Danny Carter to confirm that you can't break Jello.
100%. Well, listen, I mean, it was Jay. Yeah. During our magical night in Buffalo, you remarked how soft my body was. You did.
It was very Jello.
It's Friday. It's definitely a Friday show.
Yeah. Magic Jello.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh man. Jello.
So people should pick up Isaiah Likely.
Yeah. So, I mean, in all seriousness, there are people like you, Mr. I have so much equity in Mark Andrews, that wake up today and go, well, now what do I do? I'm in a horrible position.
Cry.
Literally, I'm in 17 leagues, and I want to say that of the 17 leagues I'm in, our producer Damien Dabrowski, producer Damien is probably like in 12 of those 17, something like that. 10. I'm in an insane number of leagues with Damien, and every league that I don't have Mark Andrews in, he does. Like between the two of us, it was just whoever heard the earlier pick in the 4th round, just boom, immediately, like it was just an auto pick for Mark Andrews. If you do have Mark Andrews, here's one positive here. As you see these names on your screen, for people that are just listening to the audio, what we've done is we've put some quarterbacks and tight end names up on the screen here that are all available in over 50% of Yahoo and I believe ESPN leagues as well. It's a Thursday night game. So yes, Andrews and Burrow are probably locked into your spots, but if you have an open roster spot, you can drop someone and grab a tight end moving forward, because you know you're going to need a tight end. We'll see about a quarterback, but you're definitely going to need a tight end and probably a quarterback. So Baker Mayfield, who's at the Colts in Week 12. Again, Burrow's already played for you this week, right? But Stafford's at Arizona in Week 12. Some of the tight ends. Freiermuth, we expect him back for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's at Cincinnati. We know how bad the Bengals are against tight ends in Week 12.
Stay away from Logan Wilson and Pat Freiermuth.
Right. Yeah, right. Thank you very much. Right. Luke Musgrave at Detroit. Tyler Conklin. Hopefully he continues to get more playing time, because when Tyler Conklin gets more playing time, it means less playing time for CJ Uzomah. They play the Dolphins in Week 12. I'm going to try to take at least one shot at CJ Uzomah in every show. Until, you know what, I'll promise to stop. I will stop and I will salute my cap when he gets through one game without one penalty.
Okay.
It's on the clock. Buffalo this weekend.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. But my point is that all jokes aside, because I'm sure CJ Uzomah is a lovely man. It's nothing personal. It's just, it's frustrating. You're a professional football player. Stop having so many penalties that call touchdowns back for your team that struggles to get them. Okay. All I'm saying here is that if you have Burrow and it's definitely Andrews and possibly with Burrow, you need a tight end. You definitely are going to need a tight end next week, and you might need a quarterback. And so it makes sense to be aggressive now, today, while no one else is sort of picking guys up. They're waiting to see what happens this weekend, as opposed to getting in line on Tuesday for the waiver wire. So just be aggressive, and those are some names right there. Freiermuth is really interesting too, I think. Of all of them, not only just the matchup in Week 12 against Cincinnati, but also just because, he's been a top 10 tight end in his past. He's coming back, Pickett.
Yes, that's the unfortunate end of the sentence.
That's where I stop. I don't have much else good to say. But we think Freiermuth is a good player.
Yes.
Yeah, he's shown it before.
He's shown it before. And we will obviously talk about Isaiah Likely as well. He's going to be somebody who's a big pickup. He is somebody who has, last night didn't do a ton in replacement of Andrews. He's been up and down. When Andrews has been out, he's had some big games. He's had some not so good games. But I think he's a talented player, and now 10 days to prepare for the next week, and they know that it's not like, hey, this is a one-week thing. Isaiah Likely is somebody that they like a lot, and so I do think he'll be a, top 12-ish tight end the rest of the way, as long as Andrews is out, given the success of that offense. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest RotoWorld fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.